Five, four, three.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling.
How you doing, my peeps? Remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Whoa, no, everybody. Eso sí.
Welcome one and all to Angel Bart's channel. Today I'll be sharing with you something very interesting, and you know that Mother's Day is coming up. I'm wondering, what do you guys have in place? Okay, now what I do have in place to you with right now is some very interesting reasoning by Krystal Tomlinson. For those of you who do not know who she is, um don't worry, you will know at the end of this video. So please stay tuned, remember to subscribe, and I will be sharing with you just a brief excerpt from some of the things that she mentioned about mothers and motherhood, and the role that women play in society, and the expectations that society have for us as women and mothers, even if we're not mothers as yet. Believe it or not, there is a path that society expects of us, whereas if we do not take on that role, then we are not considered to be good women. But my question to you is, what is considered to be a good woman? Who is considered to be a good woman? What are the expectations? What are the requirements? Now, in this video, you will be understanding more of what society has to say versus Krystal Tomlinson's opinion. So, guys, please stay tuned.
Disappointment, all the way down to depression, all the way down to death. Because we are telling ourselves, that people continue to tell us, that we have to sleep is frivolous in comparison to what your child needs. And in essence, what we learn is what we need beyond what we want, what we need, like rest, like a breathing rules. And that I find is, as I said, unkind and also unhealthy. Not saying to hubby, I'm not cooking today. It's easier to just go cook, right? Even though you're tired. Not saying to father of your child, you're gonna handle breakfast this morning. Or when them poke you, wake you up, you poke him back and say, you can do it too. You know, like when I have the song about woman must, boil banana, need dumpling because I and them and a nook. One of my favorite Mr. Alex songs, right? Scale everything I can cook. I actually like that song. The messaging in there is unhealthy. But I learned that song when I was very young. And the minute I hear it, I was like, yeah, fame retroactive Wednesdays, have that in my head. But no. Gotta tell you, fan of the melody, but not fan of the message. But in that same song, where he says, go on in the kitchen because you and them no nook. You have to start set that back to Ula and Saraya and tell us that you forgot to change the pampers, right? And you forgot calm down the baby back to sleep. Yeah. Put them back and say, and them and a nook, right? You don't know if you take off pampers and nappy. You understand? But it's easier to just get up than to have a confrontation or a conversation about it. It's just easier. And we can't bother to do the thing. We are going to cause no kind of conflict and dis-ease in the relationship. We don't accept that the dis-ease exists and actually gets worse with us not speaking up. We tell ourselves that, no, being silent is easier. Again, untrue and unhealthy. So we're choosing easiness. And it's easier to put ourselves last because people don't tell ourselves to be last already. But we do everything for everybody. We're tired and have no energy to stand up for ourselves and say, no, I skip the line today and I go first. And we also don't want the conflict and that, rough conversation that's required to set a boundary that after I do this in the day, you are taking the night shift. The only negotiation we're having on this matter is if we're going to flip it, where I will take night and you take morning. But that's hard to do. And so we opt for what is easy. And so, of course, there are women doing it all. doing every single bit of it without engaging in that hard and difficult, uncomfortable, probably conversation that says, you will have to bear some of the weight here. You will have to take on some of the responsibilities here. Because let's face it, the women are working as well. And there's a hidden shift that we talk about in sociology, in feminism. And COVID-19 made it very, very clear. Women will go to work. Men will go to work. Leave home at the same time, come home at the same time. Both put down their bags, take off their shoes. One goes to the shower and probably pack up them food, watch some TV and wait for them dinner. And the other goes into the kitchen to begin that second shift, that hidden shift of preparing the meals, cleaning up the kitchen after, serving and make sure everybody is fed, check the cupboard to make sure what is missing and update the list so that nothing is forgotten when they do the supermarket run on the weekends, prepare the child or children for bed by reading the bedtime stories, getting them bathed, brushing the teeth, putting them down. And then as I've been mentioning earlier, if they get up in the middle of the night, she just must know say she's on that second shift, get up and go. And then they both get up again in the morning and do the work. So knowing all of what happens for a woman on any given day, a working mother, can you see how unfair it is for us to expect ourselves to do all of that and not at some point build up resentment, not at some point feel burnt out and get to the point of anger where we lash out at other people because we weren't brave enough, conscious enough, didn't have the words at the time, didn't prioritize our needs and verbalize them to prevent getting to a breaking point because we chose the easiness of it. Now, one of the other things that I think every mom, I can't think of a mom that can't. Okay, I just want to make sure you guys are still hearing me. The mic started to blink a while ago. Just drop something in the chat to let me know if you're still hearing me. Still hearing me, guys? Just drop something to let me know. Okay, great. Thanks, Kimmy. So one of the things that we can also relate to is that we have always seen it. This thing about mommy coming last, some of us, if we dare to admit it, saw that in our homes. We saw mom put in last place. You know, they say when put a woman in her place or put somebody in their place. We saw through abuse, whether verbal abuse, physical abuse, financial abuse, psychological abuse, sexual abuse. We saw mother put in last place. But we also saw, some of us, mom choosing to be last. You know, I don't know if this happens to you, but I caught myself doing it once. Not even once, quite a few times. Go on Amazon, pull up the cart, and it has things for me. It also has things for friends and family, but it overwhelmingly has things for my daughters, yeah. And, you know, you have a budget in mind when you're about to empty the cart. So when I get to the checkout counter and I realize that the total is above the budget, worse when I click the conversion something to see how much I could charge a Jamaican card. At the time I was using a Jamaican account in Jamaican dollars, right? I see the real Jamaican value of way above the checkout. You just go back and start empty the cart. And the first set of things that I begin to clear are the things I want. Are the things that me want me to start take them out first. Like I don't even give it a second thought, but just go in there and start take out the stuff that belong to me. Does that happen to you too? In the supermarket, the things that you pick up for yourself, if you're working with a budget, when you get to the checkout line and you see that the budget I get close, and you have to take off some things, and you're something you may take off.
That's what I've said. The blind must be led, the hungry must be fed. Hey yo, I'm looking